Dude, this is so crazy, though, that TYT, this is the content they're making. I mean, just thinking about this. Here is Trump's speech. Cenk would not go on Sam Seder's show for any amount of money. Ana will put down and war with 𝗲𝗲 all day and night long, even though they used to be friends. But this motherfucker will go and have a show with the disingenuous, completely fraudulent Dr. Phil on the night of a Trump speech. Just that feels a little bit like a Polymarket Studios kind of move, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like that to me, dude.
As we get ready to hear President Trump's address to Congress, I want to thank you all for joining me for our fourth town hall here on Merit TV. Thank you very much. Tonight,
dude, Dr. Phil looks like he has a little bit of CTE or something going on, doesn't he? Dude, Dr. Phil doesn't look good, dude. He's like, are you seeing him? Hey, Dr. Phil's like back there, like, you know what I mean? How old is this motherfucker, bro? He's aged poorly, dude. He's 74, but he's so aged, dude. He's like, oh, Cenk Uygur. Oh. Dude. Oh, shit.
What do you think and what you're feeling about his first 45 days of his second term?
Yeah.
Can you believe it's only been 45 days? It's been a whirlwind, to say the least. Would you all agree with that? I mean, a lot's been going on. Tonight, we're here not to take sides, but to have an honest conversation.
See, Dr. Phil is despicable because he's not genuine at all. If you look at him with like Bad Baby and all the people, his entire sort of like glow up was absolutely abuse of power and being manipulative with vulnerable people and exploiting them, exploiting vulnerable people and putting them into situations where they would go through a lot of shit that was actually quite dangerous for them, and all while exploiting that for his own personal enrichment and gain. Dude, this guy, just even calling it Merit TV, it has that sort of despicable kind of like, I've earned it and you haven't.
I love that we're all keeping an open mind, open hearts, open minds. That's what TYT and Young Turks is all about. So let's watch together and let's decide for ourselves.
Dude, these guys are kind of perfect for each other because they're both like super transactional and they're both total phonies, dude. They're so fake.
How about the Doge cuts? How many are in favor of the Doge cuts so far as they're going? Okay, a little bit less, but a lot of people overall seem to like it, at least in this crowd. So for me, I think.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Dude, what is he doing, bro?
Yeah, well, I
mean, dude,
he can't get in the chair, dude.
Exactly what I mean.
Dude, Jinky! Dude, what was that? Is it like his stubby little legs or what? What's going on, dude? I gotta go to LA, bro. I gotta get Janky out on the pavement, bro. I need to get him worked out, dude. Homie, I was waiting for like a couple guys to come and lift him into the chair.
If you said to me, hey, I looked at it for 3 months, 6 months, etc., and here's fraud, here's abuse, here's waste, then I think we're all going to be on board. But when they cut right from the beginning and they cut veterans and they cut people that just came in, people go, well, that's not necessarily what I bargained for.
How many of you agree with that these are just blind cuts that are being made? How many of you think, no, they're not blind cuts, they're actually looking at it before they do it? So you're about split,
dude. See,
on that.
How are the people though that think they're not blind cuts? How are they getting that idea? Like literally, they started cutting a week into it. Who the fuck can go into a thing? USAID has thousands of contracts worldwide. How in the hell could you go into an organization and diagnose it and figure out what needed to go in like a fucking week, bro? Like that's a problem. The fact that those people are raising that hand, Like, there's something wrong with them to think that you could make a competent decision that fast.
We all agree with what you just said, that we don't like fraud. We don't like waste. There's just bloat, fat in government. We all agree with that, right? Nobody disagrees with that. Everybody agree that is fat? Okay. And what I raised my hand when I said I like Doge, and I've been calling them out on some of the stuff that they're doing, but at least somebody is stepping up and making it an intentional. I mean, a lot of people, Democrats and Republicans alike, a lot of them go, yeah, but at least somebody is intentionally stepping up and saying, I'm cutting this. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to find $2 trillion and cut it. Now,
yeah, but again, like, I have a problem with this because the goal, the problem is you can't cut our way out of a $36 trillion deficit. That's the problem. So for them to be like, yeah, we're cutting this, we're cutting $2 trillion, but so what? That does nothing. We need to increase our income substantially. We can't cut $36 trillion of deficit. We can't cut. If you have a whole bunch of debt and your money is not paying your debt, you can cut everything. You can get rid of all your groceries and shit. You still ain't getting out of debt. Like, everybody knows, in order to get out of debt, the debt needs to go away or you need to increase your income, period. And again, yeah, if your goal is $2 trillion in cuts, why is your goal $2 trillion? Like, why couldn't you raise $2 trillion in income? If you need $2 trillion, like, why do you need, where do you arrive at that number? The goal should be to cut things that are unnecessary. If you really wanted to make huge cuts, I bet there's a bunch of unnecessary spending at the Department of Defense, but they don't do that, right? And this whole thing is faulty.
But guys, this is all in prelude to a $4.5 trillion tax cut. So they're going to say, oh, don't worry, we cut.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Like, why are you cutting $2 trillion and then giving away $4 trillion in the tax cut? Why are you cutting $2 trillion out of some really necessary shit and then raising the debt ceiling by $4 trillion?
One of these days, I'm going to get rich. Because I damn sure pay taxes. I promise you, I pay a lot of taxes. And I don't know where this tax cut's going to go.
Dr. Phil said, one of these days I'm going to get rich. Like, dude, what is he talking about? So Dr. Phil's income from his television show varied. He got 50% of the advertising revenue. His net worth in 2025 is $460 million. And he's up there saying, one day I hope to get rich because I pay a lot of taxes. Like, bro, if your net worth is $460 million and you're complaining about taxes, you could pay 90% of that in taxes and you would literally still have $45 million left. Like, bro, what are we even talking about? He made so much fucking money, bro. But again, that's the despicable nature about this guy. This guy is up here, net worth $460 million, and he's like saying, whoa, don't fucking say these tax cuts are like, I'm not seeing any money from the tax cuts. What are you fucking talking about, bro?
You say this is going to be a billionaire tax cut? Is that the deal?
So
I thought they didn't pay taxes anyway.
So it depends.
Dr. Phil has $460 million. How many of his employees through his life have $460 million? I bet none of them do. I bet that all of his employees that he has ever employed en route to him creating $460 million in wealth, I bet you that 95% of his employees don't have a pot to piss in. And so for his whole life, he has watched his wealth expand and grow and become this massive thing, while everybody who's helped him achieve that has nothing. And he hasn't noticed that for his entire 74 years of his life and wondered, maybe I should do something to fix that. Like, why is it that I have 460 million and everybody who's ever worked for me doesn't have shit?
We're having a lot of trouble with the status quo, right? And so, but in order to get beyond the status quo, yeah, we're gonna have to rock that boat, and it's gonna get uncomfortable for some people.
The problem is it should be uncomfortable for Dr. Phil. It should be uncomfortable for Cenk Uygur. It should be uncomfortable for Donald Trump. It should be uncomfortable for Elon Musk. It should be uncomfortable for the Trump family. It should be uncomfortable for Jared Kushner. It should be uncomfortable for Mark Cuban and Taylor Swift and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. They should be taking the discomfort because they already have like so much fucking comfort and they're so protected that they should all have a lot of collective discomfort. And then everybody that's not them should be getting more comfortable. But like these motherfuckers, and Cenk Uygur included, they want no discomfort. They want us to go through a little discomfort while they rock the boat, as Cenk said. But like we could really rock the boat by 75% tax bracket for everybody who makes more than $20 million. There you go. Let's rock that boat. But again, though, it's hard because these guys, they don't want to give up any of their pie. Everybody who's worth 400 million believes they've worked so hard to get that 400 million that they don't even want to pay taxes.
People doing waste, fraud, and abuse, but not uncomfortable.
See, this, I don't like the fact even here that Cenk is using the waste, fraud, and abuse. Cenk is using their terminology. He is normalizing their little buzzword of waste, fraud, and abuse. Because you know what I think is waste, fraud, and abuse? Is like people having $400 million while other people are fucking living on the street. To me, that's waste, fraud, and abuse. If any individual in America is worth 400 million while other individuals within 5 miles of that person are living on the street, that is fraud. That's fraud. Period. It is fraudulent that Elon Musk can control $400 billion while all the people that generate that wealth by going into work every day in those 6 companies, they are struggling to get by. That is fraud. The fact that Rick Scott can bilk Medicaid in 1997 and pay a $1.7 billion fine and stay wealthy and become a senator who is now making the laws for the rest of us, that's fucking fraud. Don't fucking tell me about some fraud of a veteran working from home. Fuck you. Rick Scott's fraud is a bigger fraud. That he pays a $1.7 billion fine, stays a multi-wealthy motherfucker, and then gets to be in the U.S. Senate and tell me how I'm wasting money. It's like, fuck you, bro, that's the fraud. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.